7 on this Tuesday, Central Phoenix, downtown, South Phoenix, Levine, all of these are areas included in Phoenix City Council District number 8, you see highlighted right here. And a new leader is about to take the helm there. But before Kesha Hodge Washington takes that oath of office, we're sitting down with her as well as people in that district who tell me housing is the #1 issue.
We have a segment of the population that are able to get up every day and go to work. They work hard, but yet they still can't afford a basic place to stay here in our city.
Kesha Hodge Washington, who will soon represent District 8 on the Phoenix City Council, highlighting what people in this community say is their #1 issue.
It's a struggle here.
Jessica Vargas knows it's a problem as well. And not just because she sees it, she lives it.
I can't even own a home. I'm living out of my car right now.
Jessica tells me although she works, she's living paycheck to paycheck, and it's not enough to keep a roof over her head. So what do you think the solution is?
I think if you can give more affordable housing to people, there's not that many resources here in Arizona. I lived here all my life, and the resources since after COVID has went down. Like, trying to get into a shelter is extremely hard. Trying to get into low-income housing is extremely hard because it's so full. We don't have enough.
ABC15 diving deeper into the latest data from the Department of Housing and Urban Development. Our data expert Garrett Archer crunched the numbers, showing Arizona has more than 13,500 people experiencing homelessness.
Well, that's actually one of the reasons why I got into the race. I do some landlord-tenant disputes as pro bono. I'm a lawyer by trade. And I was surprised to see how many individuals were 1 or 2 incidents away from homelessness. The magnitude of the problem requires us to, 1, consider reinvesting and repurposing more city buildings into emergency or transitional homes, and I think we probably need to do that on an emergency basis. We also probably need to invest in more modular facilities.
There's also that old adage of not in my backyard, and there might be people who are resistant to having these kinds of resources here in this district. What would you say to them?
I can understand their reluctance, but at the end of the day, we have to do what's best in the best interest of all members of our society and all residents of Phoenix, and those individuals are residents of Phoenix, and they deserve better.
Another part of that puzzle, surging rent and home prices. According to data from Zillow, the median home price in Arizona has almost doubled over the past 5 years. What are you hoping to see?
Like you said, I think a little bit more of affordable housing would be nice. We've seen what prices have gone living in town here for the last few years, and so it's put a pinch on a lot of people.
The affordability of our city was one of the factors that drew me to the city, and many others, and now I feel like we're kind of shifting that narrative.
And Phoenix is certainly in demand right now, especially from businesses eyeing the valley as a place to set up shop. Talk to us about what you would do to spur even more economic growth.
I think we have a lot of opportunities with those businesses coming in. With Phoenix slated to be the semiconductor capital of the U.S., I think there's opportunities for vendors, suppliers, all of those things, and I think we can bring them into the neighborhoods and areas that need them the most. Ideally, I've said this before, I think neighborhoods should be where we can live, work, and play, and there are some neighborhoods that we don't have all three.
I think some people also worry, is the city growing too fast? Are there too many businesses moving in? How would you handle that? How would you balance it?
So I think like anything else, change is always something that you get resistance to. And change, you get the majority to get on board with change if they feel like they have a part in it or they can participate in the change and the change won't negatively affect them. So it's about identifying for those populations that are still resistant, what are the barriers, what are the concerns that they have, and how do we address those?
And we also spoke about police reform. Councilmember-elect Hodge Washington says she thinks the city can get 2 things done at once, helping the public regain trust in law enforcement, but also supporting law enforcement and making sure they have what they need to keep us and themselves safe. Hodge Washington and Kevin Robinson will take their oaths of office on Monday, April 17th. If you missed either of these interviews, head to ABC15.com. As for Jessica, the woman you met in the story, I want you to know that we did connect her to some organizations that are trying to help out. So I want to let you know this. If you are struggling, if you know someone who is, we are including more resources for you, more resources on ABC15.com, because we know so many people are hurting right now.
Yeah, and I'm so glad you're able to link her up with people who can help.